graduated from the United World College in 2003. Then I got a scholarship there, and I finished my program at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 2006. After that, I spent a year in Hollywood doing some student movies, independent movies, but it was actually that they called me back to go back to my town in Rome, Italy. So I went back in Italy right after I graduated from the academy, and I got offered a part in some soap operas. So I did some soap operas in Italy and in Croatia. Then I did like the Italian version of CSI, and then I did my first feature film with Nanni Moretti, Habemus Papam, We Have a Pope, and I played the Vatican Swiss Guard. So that was my big first feature movie. And I stayed in Italy, and I worked in Italy around Europe from 2007 until 2012. I was fortunate enough to work for 4 or 5 years there. And then the economic crisis hit Italy, and it was really hard to get work for anybody. And so in 2012 I moved back to Hollywood, and then I started working in American movies, finally. According to my experience, and I did here in the United States a lot of action movies as well, and thrillers, and I did some comedy, some web series comedy, and I did a lot of theater before. But for me, when I take on a project as an actor, I always try to find the challenge in that project. It's a role or a genre that's going to challenge me. And I think that each genre challenges you if you really commit yourself 100% to the role. So it doesn't matter which genre you're playing. It could be drama, comedy, thriller, action movies. But as long as you commit yourself 100% to the role, it's going to challenge you the same way. Because you really want to make that character a standout character with great qualities. You really want to bring your life experience into that character. You really want to make the audience feel something when you portray that character on screen, and you really want to reach out to the audience. So it doesn't matter, you know, if you have like a 2 lines role in an action movie or an entire movie in a horror movie. I think the role can still challenge you the same way. I do it all. I do it all, you know. I try to do comedies and action and thrillers and drama and horror, everything that I am able to book. You know, I try to go as many auditions as possible and try to do as many meetings as possible. And then we'll see what comes out of it. You know, sometimes something great comes out of it. And it's really, this career, the way I see it, you have to let it go. You have to let it be. And you never know. The great thing about being an actor is that you don't know what is around the corner, the surprise, the undiscovering things, the unexpected things. So you never know what you're going to book in 3 months from now or 6 months from now, you know. You might end up doing like 2 years of horror movies, and then you might end up 5 years of comedies, and then 3 years of action movies. So as an actor, you really have to be flexible, and you really have to really be easy to work with and manageable in any genre, because if you only focus on one genre, you're limiting yourself a little bit as an artist. And I think you should be open and vulnerable to all kinds of genre and movies and anything. You know, you might end up doing theater or anything that really moves you inside as an artist. So I'm not really focused on one particular genre. My charity is, since I'm a graduate of the United World Colleges, and the United World Colleges is this foundation of 12 colleges in the world where we select 95 students from 95 different countries, 1 student per country. Most of the students come from third world countries or from underdeveloped countries like Africa, Latin America, or some other countries in Asia, but all over the world really. And so we give the opportunity to future students who maybe, by remaining in their countries, wouldn't have the opportunity to be educated, or some of them come from refugee camps, some of them come from very difficult backgrounds. And what we do is we give them the opportunity to study at one of the 12 United World Colleges around the world, and not all of them offer all of the IB project, all of the IB subjects, excuse me, and the IB program, it's an international baccalaureate program, which is a great program that prepares you for universities that you want to enroll later on. And there are a lot of different subjects that you can study, like from the sciences to human studies, to arts, to math, to languages. But being an artist myself and really coming from the theater, I felt that each college should offer the theater arts program for future students. So if I have a student that comes from Congo or Venezuela or Zambia or Australia, it doesn't matter which country, and this student wants to pursue theater arts in his life or film arts, he or she should have the opportunity to study these subjects at the colleges. So since I didn't have this opportunity when I was at the college, I founded this program where with my charity we fundraise money, we organize fundraising events where we raise the money so we can open a theater arts and a film art program in all the United World colleges around the world. So prospective students, new students that we selected, have the opportunity that if they want to study theater arts or film arts, among other subjects, they can do it. And I feel very passionate about this project because I think no matter where you're from, no matter where your sexual orientation is, no matter where your political views or religion is, doesn't matter, you should still be able to be equally, you have to be able to be equal as everybody else and have the opportunity to study whatever you want in your life. You know, being a young upcoming actor in Hollywood, it's great to start with the horror movies because it's a great start for you. And I feel very blessed that I had the opportunity to do these horror movies. First, because my birthday is Halloween night. So I was born on Halloween night, 2 a.m. of Halloween, basically November 1st, but it's still Halloween night for the celebration. So it's like, I'm perfect for the Halloween movies. And but other than that, vampires have always been my passion my entire life. I've always been obsessed with vampires and I've studied them so closely. I always wanted to play one my entire life since I was a very young kid. So for this reason, I always really wanted to be in this genre. And for me, you know, after finishing all the acting schools and starting to Hollywood, being a foreign guy, I really, for me it was really a great experience to be able to showcase my acting through horror movies, because for me, the way I take horror movies, for me it's like an acting gym. It's a great acting gym, the horror movies, because either you play the villain or you play a good guy, you still have to be very believable. You know, if you play the good guy, you have to, people really have to believe the terror, the scare that you feel, and you really have to be real and truthful in delivery of your performance. Character in a real way, even though most of the time in horror movies, if you play the villain, unless you play like a serial killer, you might end up playing a creature that doesn't really exist and it's not human in this world. But you still have to find within yourself the truthfulness, the realness, and you have to make this character believable, and you have to give to the audience a lot of credibility. So that's how I really, all this thing with the horror genre started for me. It's an acting gym, it's a great experience, and also it really gave me the chance to build my body of work here in the United States. So for example, in Italy, if movies about vampires or zombies or creatures or aliens or something like that, it's really rare to do, and it's really rare to find them. Or it's really rare for an Italian production companies to do those kind of movies, because usually they go towards genres that are more about the everyday life, the everyday experience, things that are more about real, but that are more close to home, close to us as human beings. So for me, doing these kind of movies in Hollywood, it makes me super excited and super happy, because for me it's very rare to do these movies in Europe, because usually in Europe you don't get that many chances to do these kind of movies. In Europe usually you do like some really dark pieces or some big comedies, larger than life comedies, especially in Italy, or some period pieces. About historical events that are real important historical events, or about like religious events. But in Hollywood, you come, you're a European actor, and like this whole new world opens up to you, where you can like experiment with great genre like the horror, the thrillers, you know, the like sci-fi movies or sci-fi series. And this is really what it gets really excited, because you know that Hollywood is the #1 place where you can experiment any genre of the show business. So I just finished a movie with Marcia Cross and Brendan Fraser and Don Olivieri called Behind the Curtain of the Night. We shot this summer in the Czech Republic. It's a great movie. It's about life after death, and it's based on a real story of the director. The director Dalibor Stach he really lived this story. This is the story of his life. And I was really pleased that I had the opportunity to be in such a great story, and we had the opportunity to tell such an amazing story with this great cast. It was a great experience for me to work with Marcia Cross, Brendan Fraser, and Don Olivieri, and all these wonderful Czech actors as well. So I just wrapped that. I have a movie opening in a month and a half, February 2nd, with Martin Sheen, Mina Servari, Jesse Bradford, Natasha Hedrich, and so many other great actors, called Badge of Honor. We shot in Vancouver, comes out February 2nd. And then I'm going to be working on some other movies, Steven Seagal, this winter. And after that, I'm going to be working on a period piece, which I can't reveal the name or who is in it, and on a TV series as well. And of course, on some other Halloween movies that are going to come out next year for Halloween, because Halloween is my birthday. And so I gotta release at least one Halloween movie a year. Yeah. I am also a professionally trained dancer. Okay. And this way I was able to choreograph the verbal and non-verbal theater, modern dance performances, as well as physical theater. I'm training Tadashi Suzuki method, and in other methods as well. My art, I'm an artist, so, and I always try to feel and see what my soul is telling me, and how I really want to approach everything. So if I have some time, in LA it's a little bit hard to do theater, or to put on your own show, because everything is so focused on TV and movies. But I don't exclude the possibility, to try to do my own theater show or something similar on the East Coast or in Chicago or sometimes somewhere else around the world. And regarding production, yes, I'm also learning to be a producer, because I do believe that an actor should at least try to direct once in their life, and I also believe a director should at least try to act once in their life, so we can all see how that works from both sides of the perspective, as well as to be a producer. I think, as an actor, there could be some slow times in your life. There could be sometimes you're going to work less, sometimes more. So even when there is the gap of time when you maybe work less, you should be able to produce. You should be able to know how to produce, and so that way you can keep yourself busy also with that. So yes, I do believe in producing and in directing for the actors. When you're working in the independent market, and I've been blessed to work in the independent market a lot in the last couple of years, it's a great market, because you really get to, it's a market where wherever you work on a movie set, it feels like a family. Everybody's so together, everybody's so connected, we're all friends, we become like a big family in the independent market. when you work for a big studio or for a big network, the feeling, it's beautiful, it's great. You are treated like you are a king no matter what you do. You know, it's like it's this amazing treatment you get, and then you are so happy, and everything is like, wow, you can't believe like how amazing everything is. But the feeling, the atmosphere of the family, of the friendship, it's not as much as it is in the independent market. You know, independent market, we're all closer. You're closer with the producer, you're closer with the director, you're closer with your other actors. In a big studio project, this closeness is not as much there. So it's more like a corporate thing, and it's a great experience to do both. And if you can balance both, then that's really when your soul comes alive, and really you understand the film market even more.
I know who you are, Harry. I knew your father, your grandfather, and the father before him. Seems though we have a common enemy.
Tell Mummy you love her. It's a good boy.
He's sick. They are not like us. With your Harry, will wipe down the face of the earth.
Nocturna was screened at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts as part of a development program of the alumni of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. So we screened the movie there, and we had a Q&A with the alumni, professors, and all the people that were interested from the industry. The good thing is that Nocturna screened through during the period of the American film market in Santa Monica. So every year we have this big American film market, AFM, in Santa Monica at the beginning of November. And we were lucky enough that Nocturna was screened during that period of time, or right after, at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Hollywood. And for me it was a very big honor, because this year was a 10 years anniversary of my graduation there. And I was very honored and very pleased that I got asked to screen my movie there, and I was able to bring Estella Warren. She co-starring with me in the movie, and Danny Aga, our director Buzz Alexander, producer Geza Dexy, who I would like to take a moment for him, because unfortunately he left us, and we are in very big really sorrow and pain for this, because he was an amazing friend and a great producer and a wonderful human being in person. And we had the honor to have him there, and to have Mark Aga, producer, and Don Fauntleroy and Phil Goldfine.
Anyone who looks like a threat, you shoot to kill. Reloading.
It's only a matter of time before everyone's infected.
Navy SEALs vs. Zombies was an amazing experience, because I shot 2 movies in Baton Rouge, in Louisiana. And Navy SEALs vs. Zombies was my second one, but during this movie we had the honor to shoot in downtown Baton Rouge, in the most historical locations of the town. So it was great, because you really embodied that city within you. And there were a lot of different actions. You know, we had like cars flying over our heads, and zombies running after you, and I always had this camera on me. But I always prefer to do my own stunts in the movies whenever it's possible, whenever it's safe, and whenever SAG allows me to do it. So within the limits of not injuring yourself, I try to always do my own stunts if it's possible. But we shot this movie in downtown in Baton Rouge, so there was a lot of falling on cement. There was a lot of like running around and really like going from like one big places to the other, and I really have to be trained for that. But we have an amazing on-set fight choreographer, who really was there making sure we do everything properly. And I get very excited when I can do my own stunts, so I can fall, jump through the fences, jump over the cars, under the cars, fly into like a glass window or a glass door. And it was a lot of fun doing that. I had so much fun, I had a blast, and I can't wait to do it again.
I decided I want to do one good thing in my life before I die, even if I die in the process.
3 of my men all of a sudden got jumped in a bar. She belongs to me.
You can run, but I'm gonna catch you. I want to find this guy.
They will kill you.
I'll make him disappear.
Absolution.
I shot 3 movies already with Steven. A Good Man, Absolution, Killing Salazar, and I'm scheduled to do another 2. One is coming, one in a couple of weeks, and then another one soon as well. So, another 2. Yes, it's a great experience to work with him because I've learned so much from such a great legend of the action movies. Steven is a great person, a great artist, a great actor to work with. I've learned a great deal from him, from how to deal on set in an action movie with martial arts. He's a great master of Aikido, to how really be able to have such a long career in an action genre, which is a great genre for any actor that really wants to start in. And I learned how to deal with stunts, how to deal with martial arts, how to deal with scripts that are about actions, and mostly about actions. Thank you so much for having me with you here today. I really appreciate it. I'm really honored that I had the opportunity to do this with you. Thank you for following me as an artist, as an actor. I just want to also take a moment to remember our producer that just left us, Geza Dexy. I had the honor and the pleasure to do 7 movies with him. He was a great guy, a great producer, a great friend for me. I also want to thank my manager, my entire team, my agent, my lawyers, everybody that works with me, because being an actor today, I think no matter where in the world, you can't do it alone, you can't do it by yourself. You really do need a huge team of supporters that are behind you, that is like a machine that works every day with you, together with you. You need friends, you need people that really are there for you and that support you. And so I think that no matter what you do in life, you need a strong supporting team, and you always have to be self-disciplined, persistent, never quit, and really always become a better person, a better artist with every project you do, because there's always a lot of room for improvement.